Hey everybody, it's Kevin. Today is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, the 7th of January. Gosh, after the whirlwind of stuff yesterday, I have lost track of daytime and all that. And I'm not really going to comment on it. I really can't do anything about it or to say that stuff happens. Um, So let's see, what did I do yesterday? I spent yesterday in quiet contemplation for most of the day. Oh, look, there we go. We've got our card up. Let me move this over here so you can see me. I'm sorry. Look, see, I'm still discombobulated. Well, we'll just get right to it, shall we? They don't want to hear from me. The spirits sometimes have a way of being a little bit naughty, in so much that get to the point, stop babbling. That's what I hear. And I turn and look at the monitor and see, oh, here's here are the two cards I pulled this morning. So I will listen to spirit. The two things I want to affirm this morning is think less, be more. And then the other one I want to talk about is have less, gain more. Yes. Um, it's a bit like do seem almost like do without doing and everything gets done. That kind of thing. Simplify. So no joke that the resting tree is a brand new one to me. It's the first time this one's come out in the however many days I've been doing this. And then vulnerability and freedom. I might have had the angel of vulnerability and freedom before. It's been a while, but I love the colors of these cards and the way that they are projected. So, what does this mean? Well, the resting tree talks about stillness and patience. You've done the work, you're meditating, you're going within, you're sloughing off the layers of doubt. The vulnerability says you may be experiencing some uncertainty and some fear. That's normal. When things get disrupted, as they are, and when things get churned up, as they have been, there is this feeling that, well, now what? If this is coming up, just sit still, quietly. When you climb out of the chaos, the melee, you sit quietly, you relax. And that is hard for people to do when they are used to going and doing and being and having and all of that. It's hard to do because that sort of energy is continuing with everyone else. So there's this feeling that, well, look, I can't just sit back and do nothing. I have to do something because everybody else is doing something. Maybe if you're truly a leader, you're teaching them they don't need to do all of this. Things are going to get done no matter what. Think about it. We have a sun that stays up there in the universe. The earth just goes plopping around it. And every once in a while, every 28 days or so, the sun sits itself in such a position that you see the moon in a reflection. Well, you and I and the person next door and across the road, we're not turning light bulbs on and making all that happen. It's just happening as it's happening. That brings me to an interesting point. What if you took the time out, which I do, when I'm not sure how the hell to make sense? Sorry, I used a cuss word. Well, I don't know if it is a cuss word. Hell is hell. You can have hell on earth. I think we've had a bit of a taste of that. Anyway, when that's going on, there's nothing anyone can really do. What I prefer doing is this: holding space, being a container, allowing whatever energy floats through, because it does go through. I've spoken in our meditations before that we are the bridge between being grounded to the earth, absorbing all of our troubles and woes, letting them go, letting them sink into the earth, and then using what is left to transform something else. You won't go sorting out your cupboards once, you'll sort out your cupboards more than once. You won't go starting again and the layers upon layers upon layers that you want to release. There'll be more layers to release. Just when you think you have combated one insecurity, there's another one in the forms of the same thing popping back up again. So these two cards represent the resting tree particularly. Have patience. Get into stillness. Now, one of the things that helps me a lot, which I'll pass on to you, is leading with my heart. You know, the heart wants what the heart wants. The mind and the head is somewhat connected to the ego. Definitely connected to other people's heart energy. Like I was saying yesterday, how can you help? What can you do? That's leading. That is being willing, open to listen and to receive whatever you're getting. But more often than not, it's time to be the resting tree, exercise patience and stillness. When you look at somebody who's peaceful, you look at somebody who's grounded, and somebody who's like, ooh, very chill, very zen, that's lightness. That's what lightness looks like and feels like. To get to lightness means work. It means offloading how we got there. I don't think that we woke up one day and said, well, let's just be heavy. Let's just be angry. Let's just be combative. Let's just be evil. Nobody pops up out the floor and says that's what they're going to do. It's a layering effect. And the one thing that it is more than anything else is fearful, frightened. When a dog gets frightened of somebody, it bites. Same with birds. And when a dog, a bird, an animal, a person, it takes a bit of time for that fear to subside, for the trust to come along, to trust that what happened before with who happened before, the past, everything that went before us isn't going to happen again. That takes time. I don't know how much time. What I do know, commit to it. If you want to gain someone's trust, it's not an expectation. It's something that you have to work for. Follow your heart. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Now, the vulnerability and freedom is, thank you, Megan, yeah. The vulnerability and freedom, and I'm always blown away, totally blown away. I do not go, I tell people all the time, I don't sit with a script and decide what I'm going to go flopping out with in the morning. I go about my business just like everybody else. I go stick my coffee pot on, get my cup of joe. But I have to say, there has been a shift within me in the 4 months, 5 months. I've been doing this every day. I'm hoping there's one with you. Yes, I've shared with you that I do have my wobbling points. What I call a wobble is, I don't know if I should keep doing this. And then I get the message right behind it, which is what this vulnerability and freedom is talking about. Oh, I got goosebumps. Okay, so here comes, there's a spirit over here now, up over here. 1 second. They like to come and say what they've got to say. Just now they told me to shut up and get on with it. Now, what are you saying about vulnerability and freedom? It's a woman. Oh, it's one of my higher spirit guides. Stop thinking that you have it all together, because you already do. No, stop thinking you don't have it all together, because you already do. Oh, whew. Oh, this is, this is my, ooh, this is my Granny Mabel. Ooh, ooh, oh. She's talking about love, and she's saying that we're here to scatter the light and the love, to put out the fire of fear. Put out the fire of fear and come from the place of love, come from the place of understanding and compassion, forgiveness. This is what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is that. It's that feeling of putting yourself out there, not expecting anything in return, knowing that you're going to get more by just putting it out there. Thanks, Granny. Oh gosh, I love you. Do without doing, and everything gets done. That's what I wanted to say. Oof, that was powerful. Sorry. Well, not sorry, but this is what I'm saying. This stuff is happening. And the more you practice the peace and understanding and get to the point where you lift up, and it sometimes it feels like you're running around with your pants down. It does. And then there are these heavy moments of, wow, how did we get here? What caused us to get here? And then more and more and more, you'll hear that, somebody lost a person, a healthcare worker, had to work and has done nothing but work, and they're just exhausted. But they've also got families too. So in your heart that you can do what you can do, and that there's just love everywhere. And I know that maybe a few years ago we were all about striving to get ahead, the technology, and getting gadgets into people's hands, learning in a different way. That's frustrating. It's that you deal with the fact that all these people over here have got it, but these people don't have it. That's what we've been dealing with. That's done. That's finished. I shared yesterday about those two brilliant women, and I promise you I'm going to look up who they are and what they're about, because to me it was inspiring. That's the part. This resting tree, vulnerability and freedom, is go within your heart, trust what you're telling yourself, and find the freedom from it. We're looking for freedom. We're looking to stop being told what to do. Feel what that's like. One of the things I'll add before we go to meditation, and I'm going to read my book because I want to know what Melody Beattie has to say for the 7th of January. Oh, real quickly, sorry, I'm jumping off. This card right here is number 22 in this oracle deck, which is a magical number. It's an angel number. Anytime you see a double number together, 11, 22, 33, 44, anytime you see that in a row, it's in numerology, it's powerful. It's something to pay attention to, and it's also an indication that that spirit's with you. As you've just witnessed, they're around all the time. Now, do they present themselves like that all the time? Sometimes they do. For me, my experience with it, no, they're not running around the grocery store with me when I'm picking up my milk and my eggs. They could if I wanted them to, but they don't. That would be not appropriate. But, I can sit in the car, I can be riding down the road, and I can get, a message to turn here, turn there. I have to tune in to find out who it is. The one part I'll add to that is the spirit world. There's this idea that I had for the longest time that they were people just like us. Well, they are, in a way. They just don't have bodies. They don't have clothes. They don't have heads. It's just the energy of them. I explained that before. You might get a smell. You might get a feeling. You might come across something that you remember from that person. That's the indication that they're around you. Don't doubt it, because they're around you. And more of the spirit world is coming in and through to lift those of us that are still in a physical form up and forward. They're coming in and through to lift us up and move us forward. So that's happening. When you find yourself being pulled down into what you feel like is a social drain pipe, you're not being pulled into a social drain pipe. Lift up, go up, and let that spirit world, the bigger part of who we are, come down and through. When a spirit, which is anchored by a soul, into a physical body lifts, they are getting freedom. There's something beautiful and amazing. Here we go. There's a lot of them applauding. Feels like they're applauding because all the hairs on my back are standing on end. There's a freedom. There's a sense of, oh, goodness. There's this sense of they've arrived. They've been told you've completed what you needed to complete. And what you're doing is moving forward. Now, how is that possible when people don't choose to do it, when they're not choosing to go? I've explained, because the spirit world vibrates much faster. The earth world vibrates more dense, slower. Then you have to look at how quickly that moves. And it moves quicker than what we know, that what we experience. It's hard to explain it. It is hard to explain it because people don't get it. And here's the other part. The human experience, the egoic experience, wants to shove everything in a label, wants to stick a label on it, put it in a pot. It has to justify and make sense. The spirit world's not like that. It's different. There are no labels. There's no pots. There's no justification. There just is an energy that's either light and moving it collectively. So think about, I don't know how to explain it. The energy of light, the energy of sound, that. So light and sound, they work together. They're energy. They're collective. So when the spirit that's attached to the soul is in a physical form, that's only one part of what we're capable of. Only one part. Once we lift, we collect up with the other part, the bigger part of us, and the bigger part of that, the bigger part of that. I think I've used the analogy that the way it looks like we are a grain of sand on the beach. That's the difference between a human being on a planet compared with the stratosphere. It's huge. So next time you're feeling that you can't go on, that things are getting heavy, think about the resting tree, have patience, get still, get quiet, call upon the powers that be, say, listen, thank you for giving me the rest. Thank you for giving me the wisdom. And sometimes that craziness, thinking too much, doesn't allow you to be more than what you are. Doing too much just makes you exhausted. Wanting too much isn't going to get you more. It's going to get you more wanting. Just require less. Next time you want to go splurge, nothing wrong with earning a living, nothing wrong with the experience of having a comfortable vehicle or a lovely house or a piece of beautiful property. There is nothing wrong with that. I think Spirit World, the universe, applauds our achievements and says, wow, here, You've done so well. You've done so much. This is your gift. Then you say, thank you. I've arrived. This is a thank you. You're feeling lost, or you're feeling like you don't have any love, or nobody loves you. Then all of a sudden, a bird might come flopping down onto your windshield, or a dog, or a random cat, or somebody sends you a card. Doesn't have to be a dozen roses on Valentine's Day or a box of chocolates. That's lovely. That's nice, and it's certainly well received. But if you don't get it, well, you didn't get it. Think of the things you do get that isn't waiting for the 14th of February. Right, my friends, let's read Melody Beattie, then we'll get to meditation. I'm going off track. I feel like, got so much to say, and I've only really got about 30 minutes. I could have more than that, but then we'd have nothing to talk about tomorrow. Let's see. Well, look at this. 7th of January says, remember to be happy. The sign hangs on the wall of a bagel shop. Don't forget to be happy. Sometimes we get so bogged down in dealing with the feelings, issues, problems, the realities and details of our lives, we forget to be happy. Often happiness can be ours if we just remember to be happy. Joy is a choice, a deliberate, conscious choice. That choice is available to us each day. Our joy isn't controlled by others or by outward circumstances. Joy comes from a deeper place, a place of security within ourselves. It's an attitude, not a transitory emotion. Ooh. Remember to be kind, remember to be loving, remember to feel all of your feelings and to take care of yourself. But most of all, remember to be happy. Listen, this is a true fact. Have you ever been around people that have this uncontrollable urge to giggle? Now, sometimes it's not appropriate, but more often than not, it is. You must know friends, relatives, people that have this amazing cackle that just won't stop. I've got several of them that just can't stop. That happiness, that feeling of just nothing could go wrong today. There's rainbows everywhere. It's a choice, not always easy, to appreciate it, to remember to be happy, to find that joy. Sometimes means we have to walk across some darkness and difficulty. It's true. So, wherever possible, if you can find a way to, your cackle lights me up. Yes, thank you, Mallory. It does. Well, yes, I typically look for things that just tickle me. I don't know what else to say. Right now, that man Leslie Jordan, who's been on Will and Grace, he was also in a movie called Sordid Lives, which turned into a TV series. I think it was the executive producer, writer, creator was Del Shaw's. Well, the movie is a dark comedy about white trash, and if you can ever find it, it's ridiculous. But there are things like that. I know some of my clients have told me about Shit Creek, which I haven't yet seen. I've seen bits of it. Oh, Megan. Well, I hope they're tears of joy, tears of happiness, not sadness. But if they're sad, whew, we're with you. All right. I'm digressing, and we're just having this lovely little community chat. Let's meditate on that note. Yes, it's time. Put your feet flat on the floor and you can choose what you want to do with your hands and your arms. The last few days I've crossed them, but today it feels like I want to be in the receiving mode. Do what you feel is right for you. Don't do what I'm telling you to do. Think of this as your own personal time. Get to where your mind and your consciousness goes to the soles of your feet and connect to the floor. If you're seated, bring your attention to what is actually pressing you down into the floor. Integrating yourself, your whole self, your mind, your consciousness, your soul, anchored to the floor, and your spirit working within you and out from you. Now connect to your breath. You're pulling the energy from out in the universe into you. Your exhales are the way to give up, to let go, to release. Deepen your inhale. Extend and lengthen your exhale. It's a practice. It takes a bit of time. It requires patience. Experience how the amount of your breath, the depth of your breath, the clarity of your breath energizes your physical body. And as you exhale and let go, look for the experience of being lighter, less burdened, brighter, softer, easier. As you get to where your thoughts are settling down to no-thingness, feel and experience the stillness. In your stillness, you are experiencing a higher frequency of vibration. Understanding the concept the physical body is slowing down. Relaxing. Every inhale lifts the vibration. Every exhale relaxes the physical body, the fingers, the feet, the legs and the hips, the belly and the shoulders, arms and fingers, throat and jaw, cheeks and eyes, ears to crown. With every inhale, pull in love, pull in joy, every exhale, let the heaviness of burden, nervousness of fear, let it go. Allow the physical body to be dormant and still. Allow the spirit and your soul to be light and be free. Continue breathing in stillness. Receive and experience lightness. this space between time and place. Present the wisdom the knowledge that you need to know. Be open and receptive to the listening, know and claim that you are a star. And just as a star, you are a heavenly body radiating light. And as such, you radiate light and love. Because you are a star. Bring your consciousness to your physical environment. Place your hands at prayer heart center. Honor yourself for taking this time and space to do the work. With your thumb knuckles up to your third eye center. Let's honor everybody else in the world, the planet, everywhere as you bow and say namaste. Thank you, all of you. As I am guiding the meditation, I was reminded during it that beginning a treatment like that requires a offering up of calling forth, somewhat most New Agers call it prayer. We can use that term. It is a connection to asking for a purer type of energy to come. Energy is energy, just how on earth as it is in spirit world, there are energies that are not so nice, not so good, not so lined up. What I learned from doing this type of thing is that most of the lower energies, the difficult energies, it's all fear. It's all fear-based. And fear needs to be a stranger. It doesn't need to be something that we let get a hold of us. Those folks who are affected by it, filled with it, it's unfortunate because it's a bit like a prison. It's not free. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, listen, have a great Thursday. I'll be back here again tomorrow morning with more information, I'm sure. I appreciate you. I love you, all of you that tune in and do this. it does mean a great deal, and I feel like I'm making a difference. So take it easy, do something that matters. Bye.